All right, so we're going to kick things off with some Frozen Darius here. So Darius is one of the more aggressive champs in the game. Um, ah, Not so much low to the ground aggressive, so much as he is an aggressive finisher, I guess is a better descriptor. So 5 for 6 with Overwhelm. So any extra damage he does past the enemy's unit, he tramples over to the Nexus, and then he levels when the enemy Nexus has 10 health or less. His leveled mode has 10 attack, so really closes things out quickly because he hits the 10 attack when their Nexus has 10 health or less. The rest of this deck has a lot of similarities to the Ashe Sajani deck that's going around, with the goal being Darius is hopefully going to make it a little bit more aggressive at the top end. Things like Ice Veil Archer, Sentry, Omen Hawk, etc. So let's go ahead and dive into some games with this. I forgot about the patch notes. Is there anything meaningful in there? People are saying the patch notes didn't have anything particularly big in them. There's no, it's not a balance patch, right? It's just like cosmetics and stuff. Right, maybe we'll take a look at that between decks. $60. Where is everybody, chat? I think this is the longest I've ever waited to queue to match. Yeah, I think there's a good chance that I think there's a good chance that the last survey WotC sent out was a good chance the last survey WotC sent out is what prompted the bans. There were a lot of questions in the last Wizard survey that like implied that they knew people were unhappy with their formats. They're like questions you only ask if you think your player base is unhappy. So 50, for reference for people that don't understand, this game is not like Arena in that when you're in Masters, your number is a rank. These are rank points, and the more points you have, the higher ranked you are. So people who are really high ranked in Masters in Runeterra have like 1,000 or 2,000 plus points. Yeah, I don't think you're alone with that, Mask. Main League of Legends client was having issues this morning, might be something similar. There been any notable Runeterra tournaments yet? No, there haven't been any like large scale esports style events. There's community run things that happen every weekend. The highest ranked person in the world was over 2,700-ish a week ago. There we go, got one. This is probably the Turbo Deep deck. Someone had just submitted this, actually. I think we're definitely mulliganing Fury here. Calling Strike might be good to kill Twisted Fate. I could also be right to mulligan this to try and find some more threats, though. There's a Masters leaderboard on Mobalytics. That only works, though, if people who are high ranked are like, have Mobalytics, right? That's just actually like one of the best draws in our deck there. You get to curve 1 into 2. Although Trifarian Glory Seeker is not particularly good against a 2-1. Beacon Burn, thanks for the 2.5 years. I think I'm not playing this and attacking with it. Because again, combat in this game is similar to Magic. I declare attackers, they declare blockers. And I really don't want to trade my 5-1 for their 2-1. I think I am going to go ahead and play this out here. Also, we just drew Trifarian Assessor, which draws us a card for each 5+ power ally we have here. So we have a really excellent curve here, where we get to go this on 2, into this on 3, into this on 4, draw a bunch of cards. Yeah, and this is normally only a 4-3, but it's powered up by Omen Hawk. So opponent's going to get a decent attack here. We're down to 16. That's fine, though.
Only the finest serve.
And then I think especially with this Reckoning drawn here, I think especially with Reckoning drawn here, I'm not offering a trade on this.
No gills, no entry. Why are you here?
Reckoning lets us kill all their little things. We unfortunately don't have a spell mana bank this turn, so I'll have to wait till next turn to do this, but that's fine. They are a bunch of cards away from deep here, so do I could Culling Strike this to deny them a card draw, but I think I'd rather Reckoning, right? I guess there's a chance that, like, if I let them get resources back on my turn, they could go deep in response. Killing this denies them a card, and it prevents them the ability to go deep in response. Is that worthwhile? Probably. They would have to have, even if they have like triple Jettison here, they only go to 17 cards. This will work. Saves me some points of damage here too. It could be right to not play this. I'm going to Reckoning next turn, but super fine with this attack. Easy chump block. Goodbye, friends. We'll see what they have here. They have like a Twisted Fate. Red card kills my Glory Seeker. Then I have OK attacks with these. I guess I could trade Twisted Fate 2 for 1 on my board. I'm okay with this trade. They're digging for... No, they're not a Vile Piece deck. I guess they could hit a Make It Rain here. It's a shame we couldn't get them to 10 with Darius in hand there. Although we could potentially level Darius inside of combat next turn, which could be good. I have 7 mana total here, so I think I'm going to go Ash plus Rhymefang Wolf, and then next turn we'll have 8 mana, and I could go Darius plus Glory Seeker. They're going to also be valued just opening on attacks next turn. Opponent's still at 25 cards, so like pretty far off of the deep. So I think because they're so far off of deep still, I'm going to go ahead and develop before we attack. So one of the things you have to balance in this game is if I start by attacking, my opponent doesn't get to develop their board more. But if I develop my board more, I also get to attack with the things I'm developing, which is powerful.
Here to win the war, soldier. Stand to.
They may shark. Sure, warning shot shark would be bad for us. You go to Ice Veil Archer and just, like, get rid of the power on both their things. Ashe is still pretty far away from leveling, but she's going to Frostbite and reduce the attack of something else to 0 here as well. So, what's my plan? So, Ashe is going to... Don't think I can level Darius here. Ashe is going to Frostbite the Twisted Fate. I think we're going to put Twisted Fate on the Rhyme Wolf here. This lets them block something else with this, but I think that's fine. I want to... Twisted Fate's really close to leveling here, so I want to try and kill that before that happens. So the way bits work, Monster Man, you pay an upcharge to Twitch to get the bits, as opposed to a cut coming out of my end. So for example, in order for you to send me $25, you have to cheer 2,500 bits, but it costs you more than $25 to get those 2,500 bits. And how much more varies depending on how many you're buying at a time. If you don't want to deal with bits upcharge, you can also just donate via PayPal. Feels like we're in a good spot here. A few people have been saying that this archetype seemed kind of absurd, but every time we played against it, it's just seemed kind of okay. So, usually how Runeterra patches work, Lacarp, is that you download the patch a day ahead of time, and then they turn the patch on the next day. Is usually how it works out. They're likely very dead to open attacks here. They're practically getting deep, but we're going to be ready to kill them. They were very slow at getting deep this game. The deck punishes bad mid-range hard, so people overestimate it. Yep, sounds like a TCG. I'm gonna go ahead and save my Rhyme Wolf here. Even if they have Jettison as their last card, they can't make this big enough to get rid of this.
We have done well. Noxus is proud.
Noxus is proud. Look at our ladder points, chat. We're doing it. Is it a standalone app or is it on Steam? It's a standalone, Whipping Rhinos. You can also find it on the Android or iOS Play stores, though. If you're looking for mobile. The login for it uses a Riot account, the same kind of account used for League of Legends or TFT. And the account for, because it uses a Riot account, your same account is on mobile and desktop. Swain, Twisted Fate. I kind of think our hand's probably pretty decent here. Not like the most aggressive possible. Doesn't have Omen Hawk on one, but they can't all have Omen Hawk on one, right?
You can see the Demacian border from here.
Let's do this on 2.
For the homestead.
Guess I don't want to. So if I attack, they choose how they block. They trade for the 1/1. So I'd rather keep this at home so I can trade it with the 2/2 when they attack. If you're donating for a Magic deck, you should just link me the Magic deck on a site like Scryfall or Goldfish. Ideally Scryfall.
They're out there. I'll spot them.
Yeah, the Shadow Isles Deep is different. Is different than the Turbo Deep deck that's been going around. They're both utilizing Maokai as a champion, but the play patterns are a bit different. Their matchups are too because of that. So their Keg is vulnerable, so we'll go ahead and hook that here, so if they can't use it right away, they lose it.
You got legs. Use them.
Yes, very likely Hearthguard on 5, Reckoning on 6.
Fear the power, not slay.
That's a great one for them to be reckoning into as well.
Or perish. This is our homeland. Ready the torches. Light the signal fires.
So I'm gonna have 9 total mana this turn.
All the world on one arrow.
I don't think I go for Reckoning here because my opponent could kill this in response and then my Reckoning doesn't work. This checks that I have a 5+ power ally when I cast it and when it resolves. I don't think I'm attacking with this, so I'm just going to start by attacking with my 5/2. I assume they're probably going to chump block here. But they're trading. I guess trading aggressively is smart for them because it plays around Reckoning better. Definitely playing my Sentry out here so this way I can have 2 3+ power blockers to be able to block their Swain. This has Fearsome, so it can only be blocked by things with 3 or more power. Second Reckoning is a decent pickup. I want to try and get some more 5+ power things into play, so when I cast this, I'm not likely to get blown out.
I'm always up for a round or two, dead in their tracks.
Since they started on Twisted Fate, I probably just play Iceveil Archer here now, right?
Winter take you.
And then we can play Kato after.
Lady Luck is smiling.
You playing any Legends of Runeterra tournaments anytime soon? No, probably not. Tournament play tends to have a lot of downtime. They're good resources for learning about the game. Yeah, honestly, Quintavis, the in-game tutorial is really excellent. So if you're interested in taking a peek at it, my #1 recommendation would be just give it a download on mobile or PC and play through the first couple of tutorial levels. And then if you have any questions after that, love to field questions in chat. So Glory Seeker's actually an incredible draw here because it gives me a third 5+ power unit, because again, I really want to make sure they can't kill all of my 5+ power things when I cast this, because then it won't work. Although maybe because of Fury, I'm not supposed to play that. I'm just supposed to Reckoning, and I have Fury to protect me. Yeah, maybe actually playing this is wrong because of Fury. Maybe that's wrong. I think I'm talking myself out of having done this. I think I'm still going to try and Reckoning this turn and hope they can't kill all 3 of these. They have 6 cards, though. But yeah, if you're looking for a card game to play Quintivis, especially on mobile, this game can't recommend this one enough. The core gameplay design is really well done. This card is a big part of what makes our deck as powerful as it is. So
The trap is set.
how much does it cost-wise compared to Arena? It's way cheaper. This game does not have a predatory monetization system like Arena. You can just buy the cards you want directly. The average cost of a tier 1 deck costs about 20 bucks. So Kato here has the support mechanic, so he's going to give the thing next to him +3 attack, and then Ash is going to frostbite this, setting its attack to 0. Yeah, the people that free-to-play have said the free-to-play is very generous too. Like, collection complete in a couple of months free-to-play. Riot and Runeterra, they really understand that they can make money selling cosmetics while leaving the core gameplay really cheap. Yeah, Reckoning is super powerful. It's a big part of what makes this archetype good. This is a little bit different than the stock Ash Shijani deck, but I think it has a lot of the same strengths as that one does. Darius has a... For their auto chess, TFT, right, is showing you can sell cosmetics is the only income for a game. Yep. For sure. And honestly, so like, you know, for the Magic people that have been here for Magic know that like bans and readjustments and stuff like that in Magic are contentious because of the cost of the game and the cost of the cards. And because the core game of this is so cheap, it's very easy for Riot to regularly keep their game well balanced because it's not like they're adjusting or nerfing things that are like, you know, someone spent hundreds of dollars getting. You know, like when every deck is 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks at most, it's much easier to be like, okay, we're just gonna adjust this. Swain Twisted Fate, so they're a mid-range deck. I actually think Hearthguard is one of our absolutely best cards against these damage-based mid-range decks. So I'm going to mulligan these two, but I'm actually going to keep both Hearthguards. Yeah, and because this is a digital game and they can rebalance when they nerf something, usually it's still playable afterwards, is also an excellent point, which is great. If there's anybody new in the channel from the Runeterra section of Twitch, welcome to Hooglandia. I stream full-time here. Been doing daily Runeterra stuff for the last month or so now. Been playing the game for a couple of months altogether. We hit Masters rank this season. I've been enjoying the game a lot. So, I think I'm actually gonna decline this attack, because my opponent is likely a Make It Rain deck, And if I attack this in and they block, they can make it rain and kill both of these, which I'd prefer not to have happen. I'd rather hook this with my 5/1 next turn. Neither of these can block, so we're taking 3 here. Yeah, Twisted Fate red cards, also consideration. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and Assessor, draw 2 here. There could be merit to waiting to Assessor after I play these out, but I also just don't really have another good play here, like playing another Glory Seeker out into my opponent's, like, red cards and stuff like that isn't exciting, so. I'm pretty sure I want to develop my board before attacking next turn, because most of my opponent's plays are smaller than my 5-power things anyways. Hand size limit is another consideration as well. Yep.
Nothing left when I'm done.
Avarosans, stand together! Our banner will lead the way!
Face me.
I think I want to hook the barrel here. I guess they're likely to use the barrel this turn, so I probably don't want to hook it, actually. This is a unit that says, when they deal damage with a skill or spell, it pumps it by 1 and then it blows up. And normally it can't block, but it's vulnerable, so I could make it block. But if they play a fast spell in combat to utilize it, my make it block is just wasted, so. Yeah, Kato supporting Glory Seeker is really good. There's that Make It Rain I talked about playing around earlier. So boards are largely going to trade off here, but I think that's fine. Their Swain's pretty close to leveling after that. Or Swain levels up when they've dealt 12 non-combat damage. I'm almost assuredly playing out another Hearthguard next turn. Getting both of these effects down make everything in my deck just incredible draws, so they'll be +2/+2. This is elusive. Huh? I guess I could kill this. I probably don't. I probably want to save Culling Strike for one of their champions. Technically hits both of those. So I'm gonna have 7 total mana next turn, so I can either play a 4/3 or a 5/2. They missed on their allegiance there. Everyone! Yeah, I think we're gonna go Kato Challenger here. Hook something and punch him in the face.
I'm always up for a round or two. Dead in their tracks.
Sharpen the blade, secure the kill.
Opponent's gonna have Shark mana next turn, which is a little scary.
Consider a henching career?
Thanks, Watermelon. Yeah, I'm enjoying doing a variety of stuff. Magic's certainly playable again, but I like mixing it up. What do I think about this game? I think the core gameplay mechanics of Runeterra are the best of any card game I've ever played. Sub count. I could probably make the bot do the sub count. My current sub count is 2,271 unique subscribers.
Through the coral.
Generally speaking, I'm pretty transparent about the business back end of what I do here. This is my full-time job. For those that are new. I think for just ashing, I've got 11 total mana, 3 of which can only be used for spells. So I kind of think I'm going to go Ash into Wolf or Ash into Trapper, and then we could maybe Culling Strike something.
I will unite the Freljord.
Oh, we're probably about to get sharked. Yeah, we talked about that too. Where did I go? So I should have started with Trapper. No Shark. Great. So my sequencing was bad there, but we didn't get punished. God bless. Yeah, I should have played Ash second to dodge Shark. I'm gonna go ahead and Culling Strike Twisted Fate now. There could be merit to waiting on the Culling Strike because of Reckoning, yeah. That's true. It's a good observation. What's going on, Leonslav? Do they, what's the punish for me developing my board here? It's Shark. Shark's the punish. I don't have any Frostbites yet. I think I'm just supposed to open attacks, right? And actually, I want to give... He gives the thing next to him Overwhelm, so I want to give this Overwhelm. Warning Shot also stuns Ash. Yeah, good call. So this, whenever I take non-combat damage, they stun my strongest enemy.
Clear off.
Good call.
You lack discipline.
Are they doing something to this? Really? They just have another Swain? I guess they're at 7? Yeah, I guess they're at 7. Our early pressure was really good here. Okay, there's the Shark Cannon we've been worried about. For people that are new to Runeterra, this is one of my favorite cards in the game, and the art and animation are both fantastic. It does not have a native OS X client. It does, however, run on iOS on mobile.
Nothing escapes my watch.
Sand's another Shark. We're at a very good spot. And remember, both of these draw us a card when they die. So, Swain explicitly only stuns things that are on the back row. So, if you start by attacking, you play around Swain stunning your stuff, which is great. Yep. They missed on their dab again. Rough.
Winter take you.
Yeah, the fact that they had Shark there meant that the opening on attacks was very good for us. For anyone that's new to Runeterra, opening on attacks refers to when you start your turn by attacking, because it doesn't give your opponent a chance to develop their board more. So, even though units can attack the turn you play them in Runeterra, it's frequently correct to start the turn by attacking, so that way they can't do anything. Your opponent can't develop. Like here, let's start the turn by attacking. This doesn't kill this, but I don't want their Shark to trade with my Sajani, so I'm going to go ahead and block down here. Or challenge down here. The Challenger mechanic lets me force things to block this unit.
The Winter's Claw triumphs.
The claw, chat. Give him the claw. Peace, Monster Man. Yeah, and how often it's correct to open attacks versus not is frequently determined by what your opponent's playing. what tools they have access to in terms of counterplay. So, I think we have a command. Someone made a command. Can a mod look up what the command is that explains the league points? I don't know why we didn't make an exclamation point LP. Masters, there it is. There we go. Updated. Now, because I'm going to try exclamation LP next time again. I'm going to forget between here and there. Maokai Nautilus. So this is the deep deck, which means we are likely the beatdown. And Sans having an Omen Hawk, this hand's pretty ideal. We get to go 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess Ice Veil Archer doesn't line up super stellar into a lot of their threats. Maybe I'm supposed to mulligan this looking for a better 2-drop or Omen Hawk. I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I agree with that. So one of the things, if you're trying to learn the game coming from Magic, that's very, very critical in this game, is you'll notice the mana that I didn't use here in these first couple turns doesn't just go away. It gets banked down here into what we call spell mana. And it's called spell mana because this mana can't be used to cast units. It can only be used to cast spells. Really love this mechanic because it helps offset the tempo loss of not having early plays, especially against aggressive decks. There's also a number of decks in this game that are built around leveraging spell mana explicitly by having 6 mana spells to play on turn 3. Yeah, just take this trade here. Really glad I started with this and not my 5-4. Would much rather trade my 3-3 than my 5-4 there. Might have been right to Mole Hearthguard because he costs 5. Maybe. I don't know, like, I'm attacking on odds. So, like, I get to, like, play Hearthguard here.
Our strength is yours.
And attack, and, like, now the rest of my stuff is big. Howdy, Outbrained. Yeah, I'm planning to continue doing daily Runeterra content. So I'll be here every afternoon. And if you can't be here for my live segments, you can catch up all the action on my YouTube channel as well. I think I'm passing for the turn and planning to just Reckoning them next turn. I'm going to have 6, 7, 8, 9 total mana here. Is easy / Karma deck the more consistent Karma deck at the moment, but looking to play the Eternal Karma one. Yeah, I don't think Eternal Karma is very good. I think if you're looking to play a Karma deck, Easy Karma is definitely the recommendation. I'm going to trade this for Maokai. And they have Ruination, sure. I technically come out ahead on this, I think. I don't know, it's close. There's like Goldfish Runeterra that I can find different decks on. Yeah, if you go to my Runeterra decks page, it's just like Goldfish that actually has better metagame data than Goldfish does. Because Runeterra doesn't hide a lot of information like Magic likes to. You want me to Ursine? I feel like I want to just Ash here. If I attack here, this is incredibly unlikely to trigger Plunder against a Shadow Isles deck with Vile Feast. Opponent's archetype also often plays Warping Whale. I think opening attacks here is incorrect because of the removal my opponent's archetype has access to. Runeterra is a very interactive game. When my opponent has 7 mana and a bunch of cards in their hand, there's a very good chance my open attacks is not going to connect. That's super unfortunate.
They're out there. I'll spot them.
Keto! Opponent is 8 cards away from the deep. The deep mechanic, for those not familiar, is something that levels their champion, but also makes their monsters bigger. So when they get deep, this becomes a 7/7. Thanks for keeping me entertained and my days off from the ER fighting COVID. Stay safe out there, RX Factor. Thanks for doing what you do during this absurd time that we live in. Opponent still at 20, which is a lot of points, chat. There's a good chance they could go deep this turn. Do I want to develop before I attack here? I feel like that answer has to be yes. I just need to get more damage done.
You own what you take.
Feels like this one's mostly slipped away from us. The fact that we're at 9 mana now and they're still at 20. Okay, so I want to Kato the 3/2 so that way it doesn't die to their deal 1 points of damage removal. Okay, put that there so that way if they want to kill this, if they want to stop this from dying, they have to kill this instead of Sajani. Sometimes their decks play Vengeance. Well, they're on Ruination, which means they probably don't have room for Vengeance. They can likely go deep here. They're at 22, so they need Jettison plus Salvage would go deep. Yeah, it's probably right to try and avoid that. Our hand's pretty awkward here in that I can't use any more of my mana this turn, which sucks. I don't have any 3-drops. I don't have any spells. Yeah, there's a lot of variation in the deep. Agree. Sure. 3 mana spell. Nailed it. Nailed it. Hey, thanks for the Prime support, Kenix. I appreciate the 16 months. Welcome back. They're at 12, which means a decent attack next turn could level Darius mid-combat. So Darius, again, levels when he sees the enemy X has 10 health or less. So you, generally speaking, order him as your last attacker. So that way, if your things before him hit the opponent down, you get to You get to level him and hit for more. Opponent is 3 cards away from deep. You have not missed Turbo Pistol, so the decks in the stream title are listed in the order in which I intend to play them, generally speaking.
Vengeance from the seas and fury from the blighted lands. Blood and salt.
So they're deep. I think we're going to go ahead and Trifarian Assessor to draw 2 here.
Earned the right to call themselves Trifarian.
Gotcha, what's the turbo part? The deck list is in the deck queue. It's a viewer submission, that's what they named it. So, I don't have a good answer offhand to what constitutes turbo versus not. This is fearsome, so I have to block it with a 4+ power thing, which is annoying. Probably gonna throw Assessor in front of it.
This will be quick.
I think this game will be a thing regarding competitive gameplay. I have no idea. I mean, I'm an old man who doesn't really play card games for a competitive outlet anymore. I think the core gameplay of Runeterra is fun, and that's what I care about at the end of the day. So, Maokai's leveling here, which means my deck gets obliterated down to just 4 cards. We have a very, very real timer on how quickly we need to kill them now at this point. That being said, we have 10 mana and a bunch of plays, so... How do we win from here? Attacking. It's a good start.
What time is it?
Yeah. Most of the decks we play here are viewer submissions. You can submit decks by following the directions on my website there. So we'll get to play Kato out. We'll get to play Reckless Trifarian out. We'll get to play a 4/3 out, and we'll get to smash in here. Kato's going to support a couple of things and give them Overwhelm. And if we're fortunate, our Overwhelms, well, we're not fortunate yet. That probably locks it up. I think there was a chance we could sneak through some damage here. But I think with the grass putting them up to 15, it probably puts this out of reach. We'll see what happens in combat, huh?
These old eyes still see.
We'll go Kato, Overwhelm on here, then Sajani, then this. We'll put Darius last on the off chance that he gets to level up. Yeah, definitely agree. The opponent's deck is definitely the bigger deck in this matchup. And, the turn that we were dead most likely was, we got to, turn 9 and we hadn't, both of us were still at 20 on turn 9, which is usually a sign that we're not winning. Maybe they won't block, right? I mean, blocks like this, these boards are mostly trading off.
I cannot be broken.
So they're giving up their Maokai to keep their Nautilus. That makes sense. Because by putting Maokai here, they take less Overwhelm, so this doesn't get to level. Again, that Grasp was huge. Not only did it kill my Kato, but gaining them 3 life was just absurd.
Light the signal fires.
So my Darius is unable to level here. Now that being said, there's 2 cards left in my deck here, so I get to draw a card on their turn, and then we draw a card on our next turn, so we could get 1 more combat step here, depending on how good their hand is.
Vessel small, but she ain't lacking courage. Stare at the abyss. It'll stare back. Going harvesting. Fill
them our teeth.
Trade with Nautilus.
The War Mother will unite us all.
Alright, one card left, chat. Hopefully it's something that got bigger. Cast the world's biggest Omen Hawk. Not big enough to not get eaten. Not quite big enough to not get gobbled up. Nom nom nom. The cheeky one of there that has the plunder trigger to get bigger was real awkward that game. Just never had a good opportunity to get it down. You lose the game similar to Magic Metal, so if you go to draw with an empty deck, you die. This hand's excellent. Probably mulligan these pieces at top end. Zed Teemo should be an aggressive shell. Probably Kinko elusives with Teemo. Reckoning's a good pickup. So, Teemo is elusive here, which means he can only be blocked by other elusive units. Very good against us.
Hang on, Buzzball.
Whoa! Well, you know. Someday, we will hopefully be able to lock the size of the Runeterra window. Triple Hawk's a pretty good start.
Armed and ready.
So, can't block either of these. When Teemo hits us, he plants mushrooms in our deck. And when we draw a card with one of those puff caps on it, we take a damage.
A true Fragorian welcome.
Oh, I forgot to attack. Yeah, I was talking about Teemo and I clicked through it. Sorry, we started playing Magic again a couple of days ago, and remembering that things attack the same turn. Need to shift my brain gears faster.
Let none disturb my
Thanks for pointing that out. They can eat my 2/2 here, but then they take 8, so it seems like a good change for me. We'll get to play Glory Seeker next turn into potentially Hearthguard or Reckoning the turn after. Yeah, looks like they're playing Kinko Teemo.
The Yordle here's with me. I need just a moment.
They'll never see me coming.
Another day in the field. Tread lightly, strike hard.
Yep.
These old eyes still see far and clear.
You're rooting for Teemo. Well, he seems probably rooting for the winner.
Face me.
That's not the one I want.
Face me.
Looking for this?
The good news is, when they don't open attacks next turn, I get to Reckoning again. So that's nice.
Eyes open. Watch your branches.
Light the single fire.
Yeah, we're gonna open attacks. Turns out 6-4 Archer early is really good. Turns out 6-4 Archer early is really good. Who'da thunk? Triple hook! We're attacking on odds? Correct, Dirty Digits. I think I keep this, call these, right? We don't have a play on there too, but we go 1 into 3 into 4, 5. They're playing Turbo Deep, so we're definitely the beatdown. I think our matchup against this Piltover deep deck is much better than our matchup against the Shadow Isles deep deck. The Shadow Isles deck has a lot of ways to gain life. This one doesn't. It's just like actually one of the best draws in my deck. Just a good 2-drop. I'm just playing this out so I can curve out. Obviously, frostbiting this isn't very good.
Blood and guts, golden glory.
This is gonna get to trade with one of my things next turn anyways, so might as well attack in. They are a Make It Rain deck, also a Twisted Fate deck. Really? We didn't red card me? Is that a misclick, or they have something else here? They could have used this to kill both of these.
Looks like trouble.
I'm actually going to take this hit here because I want the extra 1/1 in play because they're a Make It Rain deck. If parlay, sure. Fizz Teemo's my favorite deck, but I think Lux is probably my favorite champion yet. I think I want to just get Hearthguard going here. This pumps everything else in my deck, so getting it down ASAP tends to be ideal.
Grog if you work, run if you don't. Today we fight as one.
Yeah, the casino aggro deck's really sweet, Nenich. Their Twisted Fate is gonna be 5 out of 8 here. Need to Culling Strike that next turn for sure. This is actually a great pickup because I can go 3+3 here. Need to hope they don't have like Rummage plus Salvage here. Or double Rummage, I suppose. Have all the Bezo Bucks. I know you like Dredger's voice lines. I found out this morning he calls Fizz a soggy Teemo. He does. And it's fantastic. Pretty sure I just have to do this now. Because if they have a Salvage or a Rummage, they could do it. So they're drawing towards Rummage here. And remember, if this levels all of their Twisted Fates level, so if they would have hit a Rummage there, we would have been in a lot of trouble. They didn't though, so let's go. Everyone! Throw 'em out there, champ. Well, they're deep. Yep. Yeah, they missed on Twisted Fate, but feels kind of dead at this point.
His old eyes still see far and clear.
I don't have good attacks into this. Yeah. These last couple of deep matchups have not felt good. Felt like we've not been successful at getting under them. And they've just, like, their deck is just much bigger than ours in the mid to late game. Yeah, looking forward to playing Turbo Fizz here in a minute, if we keep getting paired into deep decks. Aggressive decks tend to be okay getting under them. I definitely think it's good if you're going to play against a bunch of mid-range decks like what we're playing. But I mean, even, like, I don't think, like, that variation is uniquely good against, like, what we're doing, right? Like, just the deep mechanic in general, like, even the Shadow Isles deep deck, the traditional deep deck that's been going around is also, like, not a good matchup for what we're playing. Well, if Masters is a lot of deep, Ashen Sajani's probably going to get pushed out real quick. BBG's another Twitch streamer. Born by God, I think is what it stands for. If I recall correctly. We're attacking on odds. I'm going to mulligan Fury, and one of these three is looking for a 1 and a 2. I'm going to keep 3 into 5. Professionalism, chat. Professionalism. Just like you drew it up, huh? The green-white field deck was mediocre. The Jeskai Feather deck was good. I've really kind of enjoyed Dude Light, like, coming from a Magic background, like, seeing... I forgot to attack. I always forget to attack. No, wait, is it their turn? Am I gonna get a chance to attack? I don't remember. We were talking, I got distracted. No, I didn't forget. Yeah, I didn't forget. Sorry, it's funny to me seeing what people who only play Runeterra complain about in terms of, like, what they think isn't okay, or what they think is unbalanced. Coming from Magic has, like, really conditioned me to tolerate all sorts of obnoxious crap. Yeah, maybe they DC'd. That was too full. Full turn timers down. Come back, opponent. Magic players have seen some stuff. Yep. Yep. I'm gonna hold on for this for now. Oh, it's a 6-2. I was thinking maybe we want to wait to try and see if we can get them to Vile Feast this, but with the second point of toughness, that's probably wrong.
Please, I have connections.
I mean, to be fair, dude, like, the Easy Karma combo deck, when it goes off at burst speed eventually in the late game, you can't interact with what it's doing. But to get to the point where you can't interact with the Easy Karma deck, you have to let both their champions sit on the board leveled, and you have to let the game get to 10 mana. So, like, there's a ton of interaction points up until that point. Like, when they're finally killing you, yeah, you die.
The trap is set.
Yeah, viewer submissions are great. A ton of the sweetest decks that I've played in Magic and Runeterra have been things that viewers sent in ideas for. The Fizz Teemo deck that we played in the Masters was originally a viewer submission this season.
Hot on the trail.
Thanks, Joey Sticks. I appreciate you watching. And for anybody else that's new, poking in from the Runeterra section on Twitch, make sure you tap that follow button. I'm here almost 7 days a week playing some Runeterra. You can find archives up on my YouTube channel and my website as well, if you're looking for stuff when I'm not live. I've been playing for a little over 2 months now, almost every day. Got 6 total mana here. Probably, I guess I could Yeti, Trapper, and Glory Seeker here, and then try and open attacks depending on what they do. Opponent's deck is Spooky Ezreal, which is certainly a Ruination deck, so planning to open attack next turn is likely a good idea. Man, our sequencing on our units against their removal has been really great. This is a 6-2, yep. So we get to challenge the spider and not have this die, which is nice. We'll see what they do here. So long as they bank spell mana here. So Ruination costs 9 to kill the board, so I'm definitely starting by attacking. Because again, if I start by attacking, my opponent does not have a chance to play units or slow spells. This is one of the ways in which you play around the sweepers in this game, is by starting your turn attacking. So they drew some cards, but they're taking a huge hit here. Oh, this is 12. Fury was lethal. Yes it was. Was it right to make them have something there? I don't know. They're a Vengeance deck?
They walked around.
Yeah, I think I just want to keep things back against Ruination here. And now, again, this is why I love the priority system, the back and forth in this game. Now that they've played a spell so they could no longer Ruination this turn, now I will extend, because I can open on attacks next turn and start before they can Ruination me. So once they spend under that key 9th mana, it's kind of my go-ahead to like, okay, put my stuff into play. And then I think I'm actually going to go ahead and save this with Fury here, because I get to go ahead and play Darius with the rest of my mana. So it's like uses my mana efficiently for the turn. See, I just forced the play they were gonna make, Drothbar. I saved them a click. They will bleed for Noxus. So we've got 4 lethal attackers here. Alright, we feel really good against things that aren't the deep. Yeah, and like, honestly, like, those games really highlight for me why I find playing against Control and Runeterra so much more enjoyable than Magic on average. Like, when you're playing an aggressive deck against a Control deck in Magic, frequently the only meaningful decision is hoping they don't have it in most of the games, whereas here, there's talking about, okay, this is how their mana lines up, I've got these choices on whether or not I open attacks. There's a lot of these little details and choices that you have to go into it. And the fact that you can play units on your opponent's turn in this game is a big part of that. Makes these sweeper-based control decks a lot less oppressive for aggressive decks. So Johnny Misfortune. Can I just keep all these? I'm gonna keep all these. Yeah, you know, honestly, the way how Challenger plays out on average in this game, before I had ever touched Runeterra, something I thought about was, I wish Magic would bring back the provoke mechanic, and seeing Challenger, which is essentially provoke from Magic, be used really well here, is like, yeah, that would be great. Why don't we have the provoke mechanic in Magic more?
Winter take you.
Do I attack and let my board die to make it rain? Alright, the Hawk chump block means they don't have make it rain at least.
Fight or die. Every wave is a path.
Whew. Our deck doesn't do blocking very well, chat.
I will unite the Freljord.
You die here, Queen Ash.
These are our lands.
Blocking is in our dictionary. Yeah, basically.
Target.
Down to 9 here. They're still at 20. We're going up to 5 mana, so I have 6 total. So I can play like 2 3-mana spells this turn. I think I'd rather save my fast spell for when I'm blocking next turn.
These old eyes still see far and clear.
You think you're self-defended? Ha!
Our banner will lead the
You're mine.
I kill their overwhelm unit here. Or attempt to.
If it's a fight they want.
Wow, I actually think these blocks are good for us. Best defense is a good offense, chat.
The winter's claw strikes.
Can you articulate for me why you think it's worse speed? What do you think, what explicitly do you think the other stock build is doing better, and why?
Feel no fear, show no mercy. Words to die by.
thing standing.
Well, I guess I could have played Kato here. Oh, this has Scout. I was like, what are they doing? Does that mean I don't need to Culling Strike? So if they Scout this, I can then play Rhyme Fang Wolf rather than using Culling Strike here? I guess, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and just Culling Strike this. The Rhyme Fang Wolf plus Ash could be an out to killing Sajani next turn. So I'm gonna go up to 7 total mana.
Stand and fight.
The Winter's Claw.
Hey, Risu. It's good to be back. Variety's the spice of life. There's nothing wrong with enjoying lots of different games.
Tread carefully.
So we're gonna take 4 here down to 5.
I will unite the Freljord.
Your mercy is a disease.
Safety will cost you.
Zach Danger Brown, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. I really appreciate that. Welcome to Oglandia. Thanks for keeping me around.
As the arrow flies.
Alright, well, this is our line.
Wield your fury.
Yep.
With my friends.
And then we're dead to open attacks, right? I'm gonna be done with this one. I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of normal stock Ash Sajani. It's funny coming from Magic where, like, when you play the best deck, it can often feel like you're playing a different format than your opponent. Whereas, like, in this game, I know this strict variation of this deck isn't the stock best Ash Sajani deck. But even the stock Ash Sajani deck, I'm kind of whelmed by. I think, the matchups against the Deep are tough regardless of which build you're playing. I will say things that I liked in here, both Darius and Kato seemed pretty reasonable. Spirit Walker, there's a reason why this card doesn't really see play. It felt really clunky in this archetype. I think one of the reasons why this card felt so clunky is that because this deck plays such big units, it's frequently developing on its own turn before it attacks. So, like, waiting to play a unit out after you've already attacked in this deck is frequently something you don't want to do and feels like a bad use of your mana. So this card was frequently caught in my hand just being worse than other plays where I could play them out ahead of time. We played a little bit of Teemo Sajani. I'm not a huge fan of that deck either. Was pretty whelmed when we played with and against it. I'd rather just play the Fizz Teemo deck if I'm going to play a Teemo deck, and I'd rather play the Ash Sajani deck if I'm going to play a Sajani deck. Third copy of Kato, sure, yeah, Kato was good. Yeah, I don't know. In general, this deck felt like it kind of had mid-range deck problems. Like, our deck, I'm hesitant to even call this a mid-range deck because it's not good at blocking with things like Trifarian and Glory Seeker, but it also struggles to get under things like the Deep. So, yeah, I felt like this one was a little bit of a miss for me. All right, at any rate, don't go anywhere, because we've got another Runeterra deck coming up next today. We are going to jam some, speaking of my favorite champions, we are going to jam some Turbo Fizz up next, which is a Fizz aggressive deck looking to level Fizz as quickly as possible. I'm going to hit a quick ad roll while I run to the bathroom and get some more water. When we get back, we're going to play some of this. Thanks for bringing it up today, folks. Don't go anywhere.